Hey guys, Mike at MJP Photography, and I'm back with your part two of your wedding tips. And these are the things that you can do as a couple to help you get the photos that you want. Now, in part one, what I talked about is having a positive mindset, and that just means showing up on the wedding day, having a great time, putting yourself out there, and meeting your photographer halfway. Now, you've already decided up front with your fiance early on that you guys are really interested in photography. It's really important to you. And if that's who you are, that's great. You just have to show up, meet your photographer halfway, and they'll take care of the technical kind of stuff, and you'll get some amazing photos. Again, surround yourself with positive people, people that can help you out on the wedding day. They can do the odd jobs, things like that, kind of take the stress off you, and you guys can just enjoy yourself, enjoy your bride and enjoy your groom, and the rest will take care of itself. I also mentioned briefly in the first video about when you're looking at styles and different photographer sites. When you're looking online, it's just a quick look, really. You're just getting a little bit of a glimpse. It's just kind of just a tasting, really. It's just a sample of what they're able to do. But what you want to do is, once you narrow it down, meet with a couple of photographers, and you want to look at a complete wedding set, from a couple of weddings maybe. Just to kind of match up with what you're seeing, or your initial assumption, I guess you could say, with what they're able to produce on a full wedding set, that we can see from start to finish kind of what it would look like and what their style kind of looks like over a whole wedding. Okay, so the second most important thing, it's a thing we always complain about. We never have enough of it. We don't know where it goes, that kind of thing. You're always looking at it. It's the time. Okay, the time is super important. Time is like gold on a wedding day. There's so many things going on, and what you need to be really, really key on is to be really consistent and be realistic with your time. And when you're setting up your timeline, again, you can talk with your different people that you're working with. Your makeup person, your photographer, coordinators, all that kind of stuff, and they'll give you suggested timelines. Now, obviously, when it comes to photography, you want to talk to your photographer. Don't rely on your wedding coordinator or anything like that in terms of timeline. Every photographer is different in how they'll approach things, so you want to check with them, and they can help you recommend a certain timeline. And that typically what happens, in Southern Ontario, we have a timeline kind of where we do, the groom getting ready first, and then we'll do the bride getting ready, and then your ceremonies after that, and then after the ceremony, we'll do the family photos, and then the bridal party, and then you'll get the bride and groom in there, and then after that is your reception. Now, why I'm going like this is because each of these sections is bigger and smaller, okay? So the bigger the section, or the more time in a section, is the more photos you get, right? Makes sense? So if you add up all these sections, all these different sections of the day, that's gonna be your photo set once you get it. So as a photographer, as digital photographers, what we'll do is to organize your digital photos by time, obviously. Okay, so if your photographer starts at, let's say, whenever, 12, let's say, midday, the photos will run in sequence in time to the end of the day, whenever they finish. So again, the more time you have in a given section is the more time for photos you get. Now you remember, in the middle of that day there, and then this little guy here, is the bride and groom time. And you kind of get sandwiched in between this other stuff. Now that's unfortunate, because a lot of times what happens is, because you get sandwiched, you'll get kind of pressured, you might get a little cut for time, and you'll be a little bit rushed, which you don't want to be. Again, you want to give yourself enough time to give yourself enough variety. It'll give you enough variety in terms of trying different things, different positions, angles, lighting setups, and you won't be as rushed, really, because again, giving yourself time, you won't be rushed to go off and run off to the next thing to do. So I'll leave you with a quick example, or a quick analogy, help you to kind of understand where I'm coming from. Let's say, for instance, you pretend you'll be the head chef. Okay, I know you've always wanted to be a head chef. Maybe this is your chance. So you're the head chef, and I'm going to be the wedding guest. Okay, so now, as a head chef, your responsibility is all on you. It's up to you to produce. It's got to look good, taste good, it's got to smell good, the whole bit. Now, I'm going to say to you, chef, I'm going to give you 10 to 15 minutes to produce your thing. Do your thing, but keep in mind it's my wedding day, so I'm going to want to be impressed, right? Now, you're thinking 10 to 15 minutes, not a lot of time, but honestly, I can't tell you how many grooms, or how many couples, brides and grooms, have come down to it, and we really only get 10 to 15 minutes. And it's really unfortunate, but it's not that much time. Again, what can you produce me in 10, 15 minutes in terms of a meal? Not very much, right? And again, I don't want mac and cheese because it's my wedding day. So 10 to 15 minutes, really not going to cut it. Now, what if I flip that around and I said to you, okay, chef, I'm going to give you, let's say, 45 minutes to 90 minutes. Again, I don't know, it's got to look good, taste good, smell good, the whole bit. I want to be impressed. I want the full course, 4-course, 5-course thing. What can you do? Okay, 45 minutes to 90 minutes, you're going to be able to get me something pretty good. You know, you're going to have enough time, do a little bit of variety. You're not going to be rushed. And that's really what's most important. You're going to be able to spend time, quality time with your bride and groom. And again, last thing is that you got to think of it, really that time with the bride and groom or with your bride and groom is the only time that you guys will have together by yourselves for the entire day. Obviously until like later on in the evening, right? But really that's kind of your time just to enjoy your bride and groom. And that's, you know, as I said, focus in on that. Try and give yourself as much time as you can within reason. And again, talk to your photographer. They'll recommend something based on what you have planned out. So that's it for now, guys. Hope that helped out. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a message on, you know, email, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And I'd love to hear from you. That's it, guys. Stay tuned for next week, and I'll be back with another tip. Take care.